In part two of So You Want to Be a Personal Trainer, we're going to go over the different side of, we went over practical. Now we're going to go over the next level. I would consider this the more uncomfortable part of the the personal training learning experience, because from a practical side, trying different things is probably the reason that you're going to stay or want to stay. Like, you're not going to get bored with the practical side. You're going to get new workout programs. You're going to find workout buddies. You're going to go on runs and competitions. That's fun. It's never going to get boring. And it'll probably challenge you physically, maybe a little mentally, but it might not question your beliefs. And that's where we go to the professional side. So just to distinguish between a couple things. Number one, internships. Internships can be very formative. I did 5 my senior year of between my sophomore, junior, and senior year of college, and they really allowed me to see what I didn't want to do. So number one, I didn't want to do corporate wellness, especially ones that already financially were paying for their people to go. If it's included in your benefits package, the people don't value it. It's quote free. So there wasn't a large participation rate. Second, I did a spine and sports institute, so more of a chiropractic approach. And at the time, that wasn't really the way that I saw myself going. I didn't want to wait for people to get hurt. I also did a physical therapy center as well. I also did strength conditioning and then sports medicine, more inundated. So on the day-to-day, we had 80-hour weeks. And I found I didn't want to do that. The pay wasn't great enough for the first 5 to 10 years. And I liked being around athletes, but I didn't like the work. The athletic side was always fun for me, but that was it. The details for you matter. If it's a 1-month internship, if it's a 6-month internship, but really, really question. And I would say question, but also create. Question both the internship and the internship host, in addition to create the experience so that you can get the most out of it, because that's really what matters. So sometimes these are paid, sometimes they're not. Just depends on what they're doing. I cannot legally ask somebody to do something that I would not do. So that would be putting them in awkward situations. Anyways. Back to the internship versus the shadowing. Shadowing is another cool opportunity for you. You can reach out to somebody, a professional that you follow on Instagram or Facebook, or just, hey, do you mind if I shadow you for a day? Nothing wrong with that. I haven't said no. And it's a free experience potentially. Some people will make you pay. I have not made anybody pay. I've had to pay. I did a shadowing in a full day experience with somebody down in Georgia. But that's completely up to you. And that can be anywhere between a 1 to 7 day period of observing somebody that you know. The bigger growth period that I would potentially say you're going to be exposed to is this next level. And it's essentially the most uncomfortable. I can tell you for sure, my most significant growth period happened when I exposed myself to mentors in a mentorship, both teaching, but also learning. And this is a longer period, a longer commitment, but I think the outcome of this would be very different than what you think going in. This is a 6 to 12 month long time and a commitment level of daily, weekly, monthly, uncomfortable conversations, and getting used to questioning your beliefs, your thought processes, your business knowledge and acumen, and really changing the way that you do business and the way that you think is super important. So highly recommend finding a mentorship program, and just finding what that's all about, because then you're going to find out more about the mentorship program, but really more about yourself. All right. And expectations part 2. I don't know why this is going on backwards. This is backwards actually too, because I wanted to talk about pay, but maybe this isn't. So if we talk about schedule, if you're a morning person and all of your evening activities as an actor, as a student, or as your full-time job, and you really want to make enough money on that job to provide for your current cost of living, and then eventually maybe you make way more money as a personal trainer. Maybe you're very good at creating courses, and you think your experience you can do and create, and you can teach other people, right? If all of a sudden you can do that, You might find that you can be a morning personal trainer, have your afternoons to study, to go to school, to do acting, to do auditions, and then crush it. And then you're loving life. But on the flip side, if you're not a morning person and you do that, you're going to hate personal training because it can be draining. You're in front of people. You potentially have to be an extrovert if you're teaching group fitness. If you're teaching semi-private personal training, you have to be on the go. You have to be on your feet. It's an active lifestyle. So there's that to consider. If you don't like working weekends, if you're like, I need to work 5 days and take 2 days off, all the more power to you. But there's a lot of times when people like to work out on the weekends. So I've limited it for us. For structure, most people like to work out between 8 and 12. So that's what we do. Also, you can really commit to, if you like athletics and like golf or tennis or like runners, stuff like that, you can really dive deep and get to know that niche as far as working with those folk. And then what happens is, if I don't know pre and postnatal, we've had a lot of experience, a lot of pre and postnatal clients on the Upper East Side. But if I don't get to know them, then I can refer out. So I would feel comfortable knowing if you, John, are the pre and postnatal expert, then I would be more than confident in referring out, and you can be that person. So you're going to get referrals that way. So just depends. That might make it more enjoyable for you. Going backwards, this is what I was saying. But so for pay, the internships, you can start out making $10 to $15 an hour. In the suburbs, all the way in the Midwest, outside of the coasts, you're going to be probably making $15 to $20 to $25 an hour on the high end for personal training. That's the standard rate. Most personal trainers, they don't necessarily make that much money. Sure, expert coaches can receive a $200, $300. I've had $350 an hour. I think my most expensive client was $450 an hour. There's flip sides to that. That's another higher level conversation. Not for now. But the thing is, you don't train that many people per day at that rate. So you're technically not making that much per hour. So, and also that's not expectations. The average personal trainer, according to all the Cranes research and all this other stuff, makes $32,000 a year. So I'm going to say this, that there's a bell curve, and understanding what a bell curve is, basically, let's do this. Okay, that's this. I don't know if you can see that. And basically the midline, so the average here, okay, that person's going to make $32,000 a year. That's what the average means. And so on the flip side, I've never considered myself average, never wanted to be average, and I've never made less than six figures ever as a personal trainer since I started. So the concept of the average personal trainer, start there. If you're an average personal trainer, you'll make $32,000 a year. If you're an exceptional personal trainer and somebody who's an exceptional communicator, etc., you won't make $32,000 a year. You'll probably make more. New York City trainers. I've seen New York City trainers make a lot of money. I used to manage the second largest location for Equinox in the city, and we had numerous personal trainers making more than $60,000 a year easily. Online trainers can make a lot of money too, but this all goes back to expectations. Are you somebody who needs guidance? You probably shouldn't be an online trainer. Are you somebody who likes to be told what to do? You might want to work for a big box gym to get your feet wet, to learn how to do client acquisition and to learn how to manage your schedule. You might want to do that because you're going to be put in a position to succeed on your terms, not on some private gym's terms. On the flip side, if you want to, become part of a family and get to know everybody and the ins and outs of a business and work from the ground up and understand the behind the scenes of what makes a bigger gym run, then you might want to be in a family-owned boutique gym like structure, because that option allows you to see what life really is like. And also, if you're somebody who has solutions, you might be like, you know what, have you tried this? And you might offer a solution that changes the game. There's been multiple times where I've had pieces of equipment or done things stupidly wrong. And somebody was like, you should try it this way. I was like, oh my God. Like, just because you don't think of it, you're too close to the, what's it called? Approximation bias or proximal bias. You're too close to the problem to remove yourself and be like, oh, you should do it this way. But that's happened multiple times where other people have been like, hey, try this. So it just depends on your personality. Going backwards, But yes, final expectations. What you want out of this is probably going to determine more what you're going to get, right? So, meaning if you want to look great and to get revenge on your ex, look, that's a different situation. You're not going to be in the industry for long. If you love working out and that's the reason that you're going to be a personal trainer, cool. You probably won't own your own gym one day. On the flip side, if you want to be a personal trainer because you just really love changing people's lives and you had somebody impact your life and now you want to return the favor, that might be something that will impact you. Going back to the Starting With Why, a great book by Simon Sinek, if you haven't read it, that's going to determine some different things for you. Who you work with, this really matters too. If you go into a workplace where it's really intimidating, everyone wears black, no one talks to each other, everyone wears headphones, and it's a toxic work environment, that's going to suck. In addition, this seems obvious, but the personal training, you're going to invest in yourself. You're going to learn all these skills that you're going to eventually be able to apply anywhere you go. So we're talking about sales, marketing, content, presentations, communications, adjusting on the fly, listening skills, time management, financial management, financial systems, creating systems, all sorts of things that troubleshooting, different levels of entrepreneur, different levels of management. There's a lot of stuff you can learn because technically as a personal trainer, what are you doing? You're running a business, even though it's your own business, but you're running your own business. So your learning experience as a personal trainer will be massive. This might seem obvious too, but what you want from being a personal trainer will determine what you get. Because if you want to get a good body and to be in great shape, you'll probably get it. And if that's what you wanted out of being a personal trainer, awesome, good for you. If you want to change lives, though, you'll probably study more on the communication side and the lifestyle modification side and understanding empathy versus apathy and how to listen. I can't remember the crucial conversations and all these different things. You study different books and you'll probably gravitate towards people that have similar goals. So the personal training can be a very unique experience, and I highly recommend it for people that can go through this thought experience. And again, this thought process doesn't take longer than 15 to 30 minutes initially to set your expectations. And then if you're really into it, you might be able to think otherwise, either for it or against it. But it's certainly up to you. And if you're a personal trainer, I certainly hope this helps. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And cheers.